So this is what's outside my balcony window. It's a construction site. These guys start up at 6 a.m. every single morning. Not my cup of tea particularly, but it does mean that I get up nice and early every morning because I get the lovely noise of all this banging, and especially this little guy in the crane happening at 6 a.m. every single morning. So this is actually the first time I've sat down to make a video without a script. I am just over 1 week into my 2-week mandatory quarantine here in Toronto, Canada. And I'll be honest with you, it's starting to get to me a little bit, I think. It's a really strange one because I think for the first week I was kind of enjoying it. You know, I enjoyed kind of having a bit of time to myself with no worries, nothing to think about. Literally nothing I could do even if I wanted to. But I'm now 7 days in and I've done the same thing every single day. I've got up first thing in the morning, I've made myself some breakfast, made a coffee, and then I've sat down on my Xbox for pretty much the rest of the day, either playing games or watching movies. Now don't get me wrong, I have really enjoyed that. In fact, it's been pretty much my only social outlet while I'm here because I play with a lot of my friends when I'm online. However, I do think if there's one thing this week has taught me is the importance of needing human connection. Of just needing people around you. Not necessarily even spending active time with them, but just having a bit of a presence nearby. This apartment is great, but it's not the biggest, and I've literally not stepped out the front door. I've been on the balcony a couple of times, but I've not seen another human soul in about 7.5 days now. Which, when I think about it, is probably the longest I've ever gone in my entire life since the day I was born without seeing another human being. Which is pretty mad if you ask me. Again, kind of like I said in the last video I posted. Side note, if you haven't seen that already, what are you doing? I kind of said that I do need to remember that this quarantine and everything that goes along with it, all the positives and all the negatives, all lead up to something. They all lead to something that I really, really want to do, and it's going to be worth it in the long run, absolutely. Do you know what, I hate to admit it, but I've become such a coffee snob over the past year or so. I've been using Chemexes and things like that, and here the only thing to use is this Keurig thing, which apparently is really popular here, but I'm absolutely hating it, I'm not gonna lie. Another totally ridiculous thing about this place is these mugs, square mugs. It doesn't work because you can't sit from the edge or it starts to fall off the sides of it if you don't get your mouth around the whole edge. So you have to sit from the corner. I've spilt so much coffee on myself this week, it is unbelievable. Other than that idea of needing a bit of social interaction, I think the other thing that this has taught me is the importance of learning how to live with yourself and to be happy in just your own company. Honestly, this has not been something that I've ever struggled with. I've always really enjoyed my own company. In fact, sometimes worryingly way more than other people's company. Other people out there, I love you to pieces, but you sometimes suck. It reminds me of one of my favorite recordings from British philosopher Alan Watts that I used to use in a lot of my stage shows actually. He talks about how sometimes we are all a little bit scared to spend too much time with ourselves and with our own thoughts. And as human beings, we're constantly running away from our own thoughts. That's why we go watch movies, a bit of escapism, or it's why we go to the theatre, or it's why we drink alcohol, or we go out, or we party. It's to try and forget ourselves a little bit and live in this kind of, I guess, sort of fantasy world where your problems and things that are going on inside your head kind of fade away into the background. But over the past week, being here on my own and not really having a huge amount to do, I've not really had a choice in that matter. I've been kind of stuck with myself and stuck with my own thoughts. And I guess for a lot of us, that thought is a little bit scary, and for me, it was a little bit scary when I first started. When I first sat down a week ago with myself and nothing to do, my first instinct was to get online and to order some things to do. So I spent half a day ordering an Xbox and trying to get it delivered here without ever leaving my apartment. Which, by the way, was ridiculously difficult. I had my Amazon account closed twice, and I eventually actually had to hire some random dude off TaskRabbit to literally go out and get it and pay him for an hour's work to then deliver it by hand to my apartment. Big shout out to you, Cola Wooly. What a name, by the way, Cola Wooly. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I'm really sorry. Honestly, the best $33.82 I've spent so far. But I don't know, I guess my challenge for myself for the next week, the last week of my quarantine, is to actually embrace that a little bit, to spend a bit more time with myself and do a bit more reflection rather than running away from it and always trying to occupy myself and find things to fill my time. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna do that. I've got a few ideas, but I guess that's part of the process. And finally, to the 720 odd of you that have subscribed to my channel so far, I just want to say a massive thank you. I've had a lot of time to think about my kind of social media stuff over the past week, and do you know what? I've really been enjoying it, and I don't think I've put quite enough into it in the past 2 or 3 months, so that is going to start to ramp up a little bit again. I posted my first video on YouTube 8 months ago, almost exactly, and it was a video that was designed to literally just help people. Like, I had some knowledge on a subject that was relevant at the time on working from home, and I thought I would post a video on it. I had such fun making the video that I started to upload a bit more regularly, and I had so much time to do it that I did it every single week. And you know what? I think I owe it to every single person that's hit that subscribe button to keep that up. That being said, if you know someone that would like my videos, please share my channel. Do me a massive favor. If you know someone that would like this channel, that would like one of my videos in particular, just share it. If every single one of you that watches this video shared one of my videos with 3 people, then that would make an unbelievable amount of difference to me. All 721, I think, of you guys are genuinely my absolute heroes. I love you all to pieces. A bit different from usual, but I thought I'd just sort of check in with you all. As always, thank you so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.